Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Witcher 3. We're back here in Mare Le Chaiselong Cemetery. See, I can say that word. I can totally say that word. Gonna continue with the main quest in this episode, so let's go back to main quest. Still this one, L'Acacia Foe. We've been working on this one particular quest for a very long time. And I have a little bit of a tradition going on with this cemetery in particular, is that every single time I step in here, I want to take a look at some of these tombstones, because they're just so interesting. Eventually, because I'm not going at these systematically, I'm going to get repeats, and it's going to take me a little longer to actually find ones that I haven't seen before, but it's okay, I don't think you'll ever actually get to that point. So this one is made out to Natalie Mroz, Duchess, missing an S, Duchess Adamarta's court sorceress, granted the wishes of the common folk. Let's do a couple more. It's just fun to read sometimes. Like, sometimes these are witty, sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're just crazy. Mati Pitras, a sculptor of time and space. Ooh, that's a fancy title. Sculptor of time and space. Kitoni Kaputinsky knew how to brighten up even the cloudiest day. Be prepared. Nice. Every single time I see the words "be prepared," it just makes me want to break out into song. It's literally my favorite Disney song ever. And I've seen basically every single Disney movie. Multiple times. I would say it's my favorite song in a musical period. Be prepared. It's so good. Anyways, let's go find Regis. I don't know why I'm following the quest marker here. That's not going to lead me into the cemetery. I'm going to need to go this way. And there's a door somewhere around here. Here it is. Alright, sorry to keep you waiting, Regis, but I am ready to go. Got my row of buffs. Do I have my sword buff? Okay. I don't have my sword sharpened, but that's fine. Oh, whoops. Oh, cool. There are actually some books here. Okay, you know what? Let's read these two first before I talk to Regis. My last thought before I succumb to sleep. My last thought before falling asleep. If there is no death, does life exist? Hate is a very interesting feeling. I have noticed that people improve themselves with it to great effect. Sometimes I would like to stop thinking. If we were to create a god as the humans have, what would he be like? Oh my god, I so want to get analytical on all of these quotes right here. Oh, jeez. You know what? Let's spend the first 10 minutes. I just love talking about this stuff. I don't know if you guys love listening to it, but yeah, sometimes I just love to analyze these philosophical points that this game makes, because I'm not a philosophical person. I'm not too much in general in real life, but sometimes with these fictional works and when they bring up very thought-provoking concepts, I just have to make a note of them. So if there's no death, does life exist? You can easily spin that the other way around, and that would be an absolutely true statement. Without death, without life, death would certainly not exist, right? Death literally means when a life goes away, but when there is no life, there is no death. But with no death, does life exist? I would say yes, because you could have nothing. So before you were born, there's nothing. Before you were actually conceived, you don't have to be born to begin to live. That's a very political thing to say, but I'm the type of person who believes as soon as you are conceived, so the 9 months before you were born, you are alive, and any point after that, obviously you're living. But any point before that, you are not living. Just because you're not dead doesn't mean you're not living. So I'll just say, yes, it does exist. Hate is a very interesting feeling. I have noticed that people improve themselves with it to great effect. Yeah, I would say so. Hate is probably one of the greatest drivers of scientific and economic success in this world. I don't know about the Witcher world, but certainly is in the real world. Half the reason we go to war with other nations and other cultures sometimes is hatred. The other half being greed, money, or greed for land and power. So yeah, when you have war, you have the greatest advancements in economy and science ever. Just look at the Manhattan Project we had here. Well, they had in the United States. I don't live in the U.S., but I would say yes, hate certainly does improve people to a great effect. Improve the people, not an individual person. With individual people, I don't know what they're doing. Sometimes I would like to stop thinking. Not possible. Next. If we were to create a god as the humans have, what would he be like? Ooh. I'm not much of a god or religious type of person. I don't know about this one. And I'm guessing they say we because they're vampires. So the person writing this is a vampire and not a human. So if the vampires had a god, what would he be? Probably very powerful. I don't know. I don't know what gave birth to the vampires, but I don't have an opinion on that. People justify bad deeds by good intentions. I'm not sure if there is a greater idiocy. Missing a quotation mark on that line there, but okay, I'll forgive them, especially when they use the word idiocy here. Yeah, it's like procrastination, right? It's not the worst of deeds, but it certainly is pretty bad. They justify it by saying, well, I do, at least, because I do procrastinate quite a lot sometimes. I say something like, well, I'll watch another YouTube video now, but later I'll study for an additional 30 minutes. It never happens. And yes, it is quite idiotic to do something like that. I would drink the freshly squeezed blood of an infant. I know I can't, but I know that its velvety taste will send me to sleep. Okay, there's no philosophy there. This is just a vampire wanting to drink blood. I strive to live like a person, and it means that I have ceased to feel good among people as well as among my own. Maybe I made a big mistake. Ooh. Higher vampires do have the choice to live like a person, I suppose. Even lesser vampires, to some extent. We know that the Bruxa that we fought in the cellar of Corvo Bianco, she was a lesser vampire, but she could still transform into a very convincing human being. They might act a little less like humans because they're slightly less powerful. Well, they're a lot less powerful, but only slightly less intelligent than higher vampires. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a vampire myself, so I can't say. I have always wanted to write. I am very tired and F it all. That is very true about me as well. I've always wanted to write a novel at some point in my life, but sometimes I'm just like, ugh, it takes so much commitment to start, and then it takes a lot of motivation to continue. Just screw it, man. Let's just not even start. Which is a very bad mindset. Kids, if you're watching this, don't be like me. Do what you want. Do what you want to do. And be properly motivated to do it, because that will lead you far in life. I'm not being sarcastic. Just, yeah, because whenever people say that will lead you far in life, they usually say it sarcastically. In this case, I'm not. People don't think about the present. They usually remember old times or worry about the future. Yes. Sometimes I do find myself being overwhelmed by nostalgia of the past. I do talk about the past quite a lot, more than I really care to admit. About the future, though, I don't know. I'm more of a present person than I am a future person. I care a lot more about the here and now than what's going to happen, 5 years in the future. Which kind of tells me that I'm not the type of person who is going to innovate. But hey, not everyone is going to be an innovator in this world. And finally, I have a feeling that my friend Detlef will die. I am sad. This is written by Regis, isn't it? I mean, who else is Detlef's friend? I suppose he does have other people, acquaintances, but this has to be Regis. Why do you think Detlef will die? Who knows? Anyways, that was a very long note. Share a little bit about my thoughts here. Regeneration potion formula: 8 measures of varying extract, Leschenfang, Sancurum, Althantra, broth made of young mandrake shoots. Grind the larger ingredients, add the smaller ones whole. Boil everything in a bronze kettle using crystal water. Consume the mixture twice daily in half-measure doses. Do not exceed the recommended dosage. Okay, so this is probably written by Deadlaugh to give to Regis. They're good friends, and they take care of each other.
Regis.
Ah, there you are. Might we set off for Teshem Mutna now?
Yes, I am ready. Let's get this started.
Teshem Mutna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk, wearied quickly of living in constant fear, they began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Teshem Mutna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
We shall drive your humble being. Indeed. 2 centuries, this one vampire held in a cage, forever steeping in his own bloodlust. Whatever did happen to him, I guess we'll find out. Let's go.
See no reason to dawdle. Teshem Mutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. 1 drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I had no choice.
Oof.
As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Teshem Mutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
Oh, jeez. I wouldn't call someone who's been recovering for at least 53 years a currently recovering addict, though. I think the dude has perfectly recovered. It's just, if he ever relapses, that's going to be bad for everyone here. Most of all, Geralt. There was that one famous line said by Geralt to Regis. He said something to the effect of, "It would take a lot of money for me to hunt you."
The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment.
A lot of money indeed. That's paraphrasing, but the quote went something like that. He was basically implying there's not enough money in the entire world. I think he literally said it. He said something like, "There's not enough money anyone can ever pay me to hunt you." And then Regis would try to push Geralt into saying, "Well, how much is that? How much is a lot?" And Geralt just says, "A lot is a lot." So he's not saying that he would never hunt down a vampire like Regis. He's just saying it would basically take everything I have and everything anyone has for me to take on the task. These two kind of develop their friendship based on that kind of respect for each other. Geralt for Regis' power, and Regis for the fact that Geralt is not willing to ever come after a monster like him, even though he is a professional monster killer. Yeah.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
Oh, Jesus. You know he could totally hurt us if he wanted to. Okay, let's keep going.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger.
Scurvers is kind of like a subspecies of rotfiend.
Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
Wealth of experience. Regis has probably lived
How the hell?
5 times longer than Geralt.
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Oh, I missed that little detail. Really? The conjunction of spheres. I mean, we all know that it's kind of like this merging of worlds where the ancient world, which is the one we're in right now, that's inhabited by dwarves and elves and other, what they call them, elder folk, was merged with another world that contained humans and other various creatures like vampires. I don't know if vampires came from a different world from where humans came from, but they did both come from different worlds from the one that we're in right now. Try to comprehend that sentence, huh? Apparently, the world of the vampires opened up here first in Toussaint. That's very interesting trivia. Okay, let's loot some of these chests. We got some emerald dust, champion of Teshem Mutna, as well as 3 pieces of the Teshem Mutna set. Oh, this is so cool. Let's see what this says. Champion of Teshem Mutna, I am he who serves the tribe. Exalted above men, I renounce human weakness. Uplifted above men, I become keeper of my flock. Filled with strength, I turn my sword against the enemies of the tribe. I am master and slave. I am executor of the will of the tribe. I accept this sword and this armor so I may serve the tribe. Ooh, clearly like a vampiric tribe. And this guy is going to serve. So we got 3 pieces here. Teshem Mutna steel sword. 15% to cause bleeding. And we have the armor set, which unfortunately doesn't have a set bonus, but look how badass this looks. Oh, we can look like a proper vampire. That is so cool. It's heavy armor too, which... Ooh, I do like my heavy armors. Compare that to what we have here. The stats are overall weaker, but it looks so cool. Damn it. And this sword here has an additional ability. While under 30% vitality, you deal 60% more damage in melee. Okay. That's a really powerful effect. But under 30% is kind of living on the edge. I don't like doing that. Check out this book here. Human Husbandry and Care.
This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
I'll spend a bit of time reading this because I think this is very interesting lore. The most important aspect of raising human livestock is to provide the herd with conditions that, on the one hand, guarantee their survival, but on the other hand, do not extend too far beyond the minimum needed for that survival. It should be borne in mind that people are creatures bestowed with great intelligence, or rather cunning, and instincts that allow them to gain as much as possible from their environment. In terms of husbandry, this means humans will always try to obtain more than we give them. It is recommended, therefore, to provide each individual with a place to sleep, a meal twice a day, and permanent access to water. These conditions, which might seem overly luxurious to some, ensure the optimal production of high-quality hemoglobin. More details on diet in later chapters. Also essential is access to air, without which humans die within minutes. Further confirming that vampires do not need water, food, or air to survive. There is no need to be concerned about the ability for human livestock to multiply in the conditions described above. If they are ensured a minimal existence and male and females are mixed, they will copulate irrespective of whether they are in captivity or not. It is worth mentioning here that there is a school of thought that suggests treating human livestock with greater freedom and care, including providing them with better quality fodder and a certain degree of freedom. This allegedly ensures a greater amount of favorable elements in the blood and makes it tastier. However, it is worth mentioning that this method of husbandry is much more difficult and requires emotional bonding techniques, which will be discussed in the following chapters. Kind of like how free-range chickens are supposed to taste better than just farmed chickens that live in a factory all day. I get that with humans, although vampires don't farm humans for food. They do it for their blood. And blood is kind of like milking a cow. You don't have to kill the human to extract the blood. So it's much more sustainable. Okay, let's keep going here. Regis, you lead the way.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. Great many beings have breathed their last here.
As we can see from these hanging skeletons. Creepy. He's gonna wait for us again.
Into the rock, coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
As far as I remember, there's only one tribe of vampires who are still alive to this day, or those who still have contact with each other. It's not this one here. It should be this symbol right here.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlough's. We both remained in this part of the world.
The Garisham tribe, alright. And this one?
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedead. Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
Oh, okay, so they still exist in this world, it's just they're not on this continent. These are east of the Blue Mountains, which will bring them past Zeracania, and who knows what's beyond there. We got another 2 pieces of Teshem Mutna and a book.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
I'm worried we'll run out of carrying capacity here, but we did get boots as well as a mask, which was probably going to be here. Yeah. No set bonus, unfortunately. I would love to see this thing have a set bonus. Oh well. Okay, let's read this book. Battery Cage versus Free-Range Humans. I was just talking about the chickens earlier. In recent decades, many of us have come to believe that a much more effective way of obtaining good quality human blood than hunting individuals is their systematic controlled husbandry. Apart from the obvious advantages such as being able to control what the flock eats and the ability to crossbreed specific individuals to obtain offspring with the best hemoglobin, another clear advantage to breeding human flocks is that domesticated humans held in confinement, as opposed to those in their natural habitat, i.e. villages and towns, become less aggressive and therefore less troublesome. When it comes to farming humans, there are various schools, of which 2 seem to have gained the widest acceptance in recent times, namely battery cage and free-range husbandry. This thesis describes in detail the advantages and disadvantages as well as the methods of carrying out each type of breeding. As an introduction, it is worth mentioning the basic differences between both types. Battery cage human husbandry, described very accurately and in detail in the book Human Husbandry, is the placing of several male and female individuals in a closed, restricted space with permanent access to air, food, and water. This form of breeding differs from free range in that the flock is not permitted to leave the breeding area and is held captive the entirety of their lives. Free range, on the other hand, involves leaving the flock in its natural habitat for creating a habitat that stimulates it closely, i.e. creating villages, more on which can be found in the chapter Human Villages, Establishing and Growing a Herd, and then making the herd psychologically or physically dependent on its owner. The most effective method for making a human individual dependent is guaranteeing its safety and permanent access to high-quality feed. It is worth adding that a human that trusts its owner does not feel fear and does not defend itself when having its blood drunk, which limits the production of noradrenaline and cortisol, which have a negative impact on the taste of the blood. Furthermore, it may happen that a domesticated, free-range human may feel a certain pleasure when its owner drinks its blood, most likely associated with sexual tension, which causes an intensification in the blood's flavor. So I'm guessing how these higher vampires convince humans to become essentially their pets is they don't tell these humans that they are vampires. They tell them like they are a god of some sort, and if you humans agree to what we do to you, that is to drink your blood once in a while, call it like a ritual instead of call it a feeding, then we will provide you with fresh water, fresh food, and everything you needed to live. And now these humans, us humans being kind of gullible when it comes to religion, especially at this period of time in the 13th century, where there was essentially no real science going on. No real modern science, at least. Whatever they had back then, I guess, can still be called science. So they're very gullible when it comes to these kind of deities and religions. So they will just all bow down to their gods. You know, it's a god literally in human form. You have to praise them. You have to pray to them. And all you need to sacrifice is a little bit of your blood. I mean, if I were a villager living in this time period, I would totally succumb to that. I would just be like, this is the way it's meant to be. And the only way we can continue living is to believe in this god who is once in a while taking blood from us as payment for whatever it's doing for us. That's very, very smart, clever of the higher vampires. Okay, so let's keep going. Oh.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Fair enough. Probably humans for their battery cage farming. There's another tribe here.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
That would be west past Skellige, I'm guessing. And here's another.
And this one?
Okay,
Which
we already
tribe's
seen this
this?
one.
Garisham. My
Garisham.
tribe, and Deadlove's. We both remained in this part of the world.
It makes my OCD a little uneasy that some of them turn yellow when I look at them. Some of them don't. Okay. Oh, corpse here. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Some people might find this kind of boring, but I find lore about vampires absolutely fascinating. Transcript of a conversation between Master Ezekiel Hildegard and a human being. So EH would be Ezekiel. Who are you? And HB would be human being. My name is Alex Viscount. EH. Why is all your skin trembling? HB. I am scared, sir. EH. You're scared? I don't understand. HB. You don't know what fear is, sir. EH. No, I have mastered your language, yet some concepts are beyond me. What is fear? HB. It's a feeling that destroys every other feeling. It controls your head and heart. EH. What do you mean? I thought it was a kind of pain. I have carried out tests in my laboratory on people, and I discovered that a monster subject to appropriate stimuli is able to forget about her child and think only about how to avoid pain. So fear would be similar to pain? HB. No, pain rules the body, but fear is born in the heart. EH. Oh, yes. What you say is very interesting. I think I will have to examine your heart in the laboratory. HB. What do you mean, examine? EH. I mean, examine. Take it out and subject it to a proper examination. HB. But sir, that would kill me. EH. Yes, your mortality is a great inconvenience, but was not me who created your species, and I am not responsible for its excessive frailty. The conversation was carried out in human language, in such it was written down. The transcription does not need translating. I am not who created your species, and I am not responsible for its excessive frailty. Spoken like a true higher vampire. I love it. Notes of a Teshem Mutna prisoner. I found a piece of parchment that fell from the pocket of one of the monsters. I also have a lump of coal. I would write this in my own blood, but I have hardly any left. I am cold. Every third day they come and open my veins, after which I cannot move. I can't go on much longer. From the next page, I hear the howls of terrified people. If I had the strength, I would smash my head against the bars. I hope it won't go on much longer. Alois from the cage next to me died yesterday. They drank him to death. This must have irritated him, because I heard them arguing in their strange language. They brought new people this morning. You could say that a supply of fresh blood arrived. They have no idea what they are in for. My only comfort is that I know already, and I won't have to live through the terror that I felt the first time they came for me. I had no idea what they wanted until they pulled out their shiny instruments. I have never seen such beautiful metal. My blood glistened a purple silvery color in those instruments. Ooh. That's a lot of coal to write with. Okay, I don't want to miss anything here. So let's loot this. Here are the gloves. And here we are. That cage made of in silver alloy, delphinite, and meteorite steel.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock, live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine.
I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it, ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then.
Okay.
Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Yep. Speaking of monsters, I think the game... Oh no, it didn't remove all my buffs. Okay, it just wasn't showing. Well, we're definitely going to be fighting some stuff here, which means before I place the last bait, I'm going to...
One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
Yeah, I'm going to prepare a little bit here. That is, apply an oil and drink some black blood, because I know I'm going to be fighting necrophages and vampires alike. So here's the brown oil, and here's the black blood, which I will need to craft a few more of. I do have 2 superior ones. Let's see. I don't think I need a superior one right now. Let's just drink an enhanced one. There we go. Oh, there's my Trial of Grasses point. Which reminds me, I should probably assign a couple of skill points at some point. That would be useful. Haven't done that in a while. Alright, and now we can tell them that we're ready. Oh boy.
This'll hold. Doesn't look like anything special.
I told you, Kagmar thrashed about inside it for over 2 centuries. Appearances can be deceiving.
Yeah. 2 centuries. And whatever happened to him, we don't know.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do.
We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent. Also, my head has started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Oh my god, this is so cool.
Maybe we need a
All
safe
right.
word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, no. You won't be able to. We must forge through this, that is all.
We just have smelled the blood.
Oh, Regis, hang in there, buddy. I have faith in you. Oh, Jesus, we're getting some flutters. Oh, hopefully these... Oh, no, no! Damn it. That was a big mistake I just made.
It grows worse and worse.
Whoops. No, 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 no.
I shall overcome.
Damn it.
Good, because I can hear more coming.
I didn't mean to drink a second black blood there. I meant to drink a swallow potion. Damn it. Now my toxicity went up and I lost the potion. Okay, let's throw a bomb here. Yeah. Wow, I crafted these dancing stars. But my health is very quickly draining. Let's drink this swallow potion. Let that toxicity go up. But I don't really have much of a choice because these guys are doing crazy amounts of damage. Oh, Jesus. Okay, come on. Seriously? Okay. Yeah, definitely drinking that second black blood potion to raise my toxicity was a big mistake. And also, I mean, it's not why I died. I died because I got overwhelmed. But, let's try not to make that mistake again. Okay, this time I drank the correct potion. That isn't to say I'm going to fare any better because we're talking a lot of necrophages and vampires in this fight. All I can do is kind of use these scarcers a little to my advantage because when they die they do explode, and when they explode they do a little bit of damage to these splatters. Oh, I froze it! Yes, okay, that felt pretty good. Damn it, I still can't dodge that attack. It's crazy. Hang in there, Regis. I'm trying best I can. When I get overwhelmed by these guys. Oh, wow. Axie doesn't even stop that jump. It gets stunned mid-flight, but... Come on. Okay, nice. I thought I was just gonna finish it off before he can get another pounce on me. Alright, more Rot Fiends. Let's put down another Yurden glyph here. Why aren't they not coming? Hello? Guys, I'm right here. Alright. And that guy is gonna blow up if I try to attack him, so I'm just gonna shoot him with a bolt. Yep. Same with this guy.
It grows worse and worse. I shall overcome.
Good, because I can hear more coming.
Oh, Jesus. So many.
How long you gonna make me?
Oh my god, that's more ghouls and Rot Fiends or scarcers than I've ever had to fight. Luckily for us, damage is minimal right now because of Quinn. I wonder how Regis is looking like right now. Oh my god, yeah, that dude totally looks like he's in pain. Okay. His bloodlust has essentially hit its maximum. And we have
Hold
to...
on, I'll let you out.
I was hoping I could kill that catachan. Oh, wow. Yep. You need the blood of a vampire who is in a state of extreme bloodlust.
Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore.
My God. Ah. A few hours later.
Get you out of here.
Yarden trap still active.
The concoction.
You know, Regis was completely just destroyed by being in there for a few hours. Imagine being trapped in there for 200 years.
Tell me how. I'll help you.
Like the previous vampire did. Oh. The suffering it had to go through. And can we also talk about just how good friends Geralt and Regis are? Like, we just sat there for hours right in front of him waiting for his bloodlust to come down. That is a sign of a good friend.
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Great. And it's not just Geralt being a good friend to Regis. You can even argue that Regis is an even better friend to Geralt because he was willing to even go through with this. This little... essentially torturing inside a cage. Because he wanted to defend his best friend, or one of his best friends, from Dettlaff, as well as defending Dettlaff from whatever Geralt is going to do to him. So, yeah, like, Regis is such a respectable character. But now that it's all over, let's talk about what happened back there.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you. The pain is my way of paying my debt.
The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff.
If I had to do it again, I would, in a heartbeat.
And there you go, just showing off how good of a friend Regis is to both Dettlaff and Geralt. And it's interesting how Regis is even able to feel quote-unquote pain, because from that one book that we read about the interactions between that Ezekiel guy with a human being, the vampire had to be taught by the human what pain is. And eventually came to the conclusion that humans are just frail, and there's nothing that a vampire like himself could do anything about it. But I suppose Ezekiel never really experienced what it's like to be held inside that cage, to let yourself basically be taken by your own fury. That's pretty freaky. And having never experienced something like that, I suppose that vampire would have never experienced anything called pain, right?
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well.
We do indeed.
In that case, let's begin.
Oof. Probably stronger than any other potion we have ever drank.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
Detlef makes a friend.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates. Forgive me. What?
Of course. You make a good friend, and then you gotta kill him. So that was probably Count Delacroix. As his corpse just flowed down the river. Oh, and he chopped off his own hand because of how guilty he felt for killing a friend. Not that it matters because it just grows back. Regenerating hands, easy. Regenerating your entire body after being melted, not so much.
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Detlef had made friends with him. Still killed him. Chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detlef I know. See anything else?
The moment when Detlef and Delacroix first met at the Bootblack.
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Detlef. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly, the situation provoked such emotions in Detlef. Keep in mind, he did later murder Delacroix.
Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong emotion. Vampires are no different in that regard. Did you see anything else?
Thank goodness that's the case. They can still develop a bond to those close to them. If they didn't, then we would have very big problems with vampires in this world.
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Detlef first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Detlef.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with?
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
Well, I mean, we aren't exactly feeling in the most tip-top shape either. General skill point gained. Very nice. Okay, well, that was one hell of a quest. Now we have a new one, where children toil, toys waste away. The context will be a little clearer later. But of course, we already have the context of a child boot black. Yeah, so we will jump onto that in a different episode. For now, though, oh man, I'm still a little dazed from that fight with all those necrophages. It wasn't particularly difficult, it's just the sheer overwhelming number of them. Surprised me. Didn't remember there being that many of them. Anyways, we're going back to Corvo Bianco. Check up on some things. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, our stable should be perfectly built at this point. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, could use a bit more polishing. Let me take a look. Yeah, the stable's done, and the plantation should also be done. So now we can pick up some herbs around this area. Yeah, look at this. It's nothing too special. Yeah, so there we have the Corvo Bianco greenhouse. Here you will find the herbs you need to create mutagens or change their colors. Any herbs you pick will grow back after a certain time. Yeah, look at all of these. These are all... Oh, wow. No way. These are so good. I thought these were like standard alchemy ingredients, but no, they're all rich sources. Yes, please. Oh, I just got overweight from that, but I don't care. These are crazy good ingredients. I need to harvest them as much as I can. Maybe the ones back here are, yeah, the garden create dyes. Okay. Yeah, the ones out here, they're not quite as good, but still okay. The berbercane fruit is a nice source of ether. Everything else though, yeah, they're relatively weak herbs, which I don't really use anymore. I mainly focus on using monster parts for my concoctions and stuff. Anyways, let's just call Roach over here. Roach, get your butt out here. I need your saddlebags. Ah, she's lazy. She's got a proper abode now. Doesn't want to come to me anymore. I get it. I get it. Alright, there we go. And one of the reasons I'm coming back here, well, first of all, let's actually enhance my weapons a little bit.
The Dutch is small, but do you know any who's not heard of our wines?
There we go. And I'm also going to put up this Teshem Mutna set as a display. I'm never going to use it, so might as well. This one will do. Yeah, that looks beautiful. It actually looks a little like the Nilfgaardian set, but I think the Nilfgaardian set is a bit fancier. There we go, and there's the sword. Can't see it too well. I've always thought it was a weird design choice to have the Corvo Bianco house lit up so poorly. This lighting, I think it could have been much better to see our armors a bit more clearly, as well as our swords. But, yeah, the lighting here is not fantastic. Can't get the most out of the stuff that we choose to display. But look at that guest bed. So fancy. So fancy. Alright, so now we can talk to Barnabas here.
Renovations coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now devote yourself to enjoying the vineyard's delights to the fullest. You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corvo Bianco completed, and with the estate looking more beautiful than ever, it might be appropriate to commemorate the moment.
You know what, BB? I think we both deserve it. Let's do it.
Sure, why not?
During the tidying that preceded the renovations, I came across a bottle of Sapramento, the 1250 vintage. I cannot say by what miracle it survived, but it is here. And we've cause to open it today.
A 1250 Sapramento.
And then he ran straight into the crowd, burning bouquet in hand. All thought it a part of the performance, so they only laughed, even when the decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flames engulfed Baron Mahevkin's beard that folk began to realize something was amiss and went to put out the fires.
Sounds like Monsieur Bolius and Madame Nina threw some first-rate balls here.
It was so. In this regard, Baron Rossel was decidedly more reserved.
So tell me, Barnabas Basil, what's the wine situation like here? Am I going to produce any this year?
This year is out, I fear, sir. Last autumn, a fungus destroyed all the vines. Baron Rossel had new ones planted, but it will be some time before they start bearing fruit. Assuming that is, the fungus does not reappear.
That'd be bad. This Sapramento got me dreaming. It's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Allow me to top you off, sir. There.
Thanks.
I wonder if that Sapramento is better than Regis's Mandrake Moonshine. That stuff, it's apparently tasting like pure gold. Not literally, but... still. It looks like BB passed out. Oh, no, he's still good. It's a little hard to tell with his sunglasses. Okay, here we have a book for the history of Corvo Bianco. I think I'll read that another time. But, yeah, that was really nice. Sharing a moment with our Major Domo. You know, speaking of armor and equipment, I think at some point I'm going to want to change into another set. Now, I really don't really want to, because of just how powerful our Grandmaster Ursine set so far is. I'm not really taking much advantage of the 5-piece set bonus, but the 4-piece set bonus that doesn't let us stagger as easily, as well as just the overall defense and the power of our Quen sign. It's so good that I don't really want to change out of it, but I did say that I will be exploring as many armor sets as possible, so maybe in the next episode or in the coming ones soon, I will be upgrading or changing, not necessarily upgrading, into a new set of equipment just to see how it plays, which means I'm really going to miss our current set, as well as this Winter's Blade. This Winter's Blade is so cool, but it is about that time that we switch over to another weapon, I think. Okay, anyways, before we end things off here, I'm going to go ahead and meditate here a little bit. And as I said in the end of last episode, it's been a very long time since we applied some skill points to our character. We should take a look at that and see what we can do, as well as maybe check out some of the mutations. I don't think I'm ever going to switch to another mutation. Metamorphosis is just too fun to use. Yeah, they're mostly passive boosts, but I think they gave me more advantages than I can even, like, at that time really appreciate. In the heat of combat, you don't really notice what's going on with your decoctions, but I'm sure they give me a lot of bonuses I'm not even noticing. But still, let's see. Yeah, like Second Life is kind of boring, honestly. Adrenaline Rush. This one, when rending an opponent, then their remaining health. Yeah, that's. I don't know if rending, if they mean literally using the ability rend, or if that's just a colorful choice of words for killing an opponent. If it is rend, though, like the actual skill, the heavy attack, yeah, I don't use that nearly enough. Magic Harmony is really cool. It allows us to gain more sign intensity as long as we cycle through them. I suppose that's something we can work on. And this Well of Energy. Okay, well, this is a very, very passive boost that only really applies to Enhanced Edition, because this regeneration delay, as well as missing Vigor points applying penalties to our stats, that's something that doesn't exist, right, in Vanilla Witcher 3. So, Yeah, let's just start with magic sensibilities and then we'll work our way down. So for this one, we need Ard, Igni, Yarden, Quen. So all the signs except for Axie. So I guess I will save up those signs. For now, though, I should be okay with applying a couple of Axie skill points if I have any. I don't have any. That's fine. I'll just leave these signs be. I'll apply a couple of points over here. So fast attack, we've maxed out everything except for Whirl. A move that I don't really use, but hey, let's put a point onto it. For strong attacks, I still need Sundering Blows. Sundering Blows is actually pretty good. Ignores some of the opponent's poise, as well as giving us a chance to break guards. We have one defense skill point, which, wow, I defend so much. Look at this. I've maxed out almost everything here. One more into Heightened Senses, and I'll be done. Nice. But the cool thing about Heightened Senses is that... the cool thing about the whole defensive skill tree is that every single ability here is very, very good. So, yeah, investing points into these, not a bad idea at all. And finally, we have a Battle Trance skill point. Let's just put it onto Razor Focus. Slows adrenaline point loss, as well as giving us more attack speed per Vigor. Sometimes I kind of wish that I don't use so many signs, because Vigor does give us a lot of good bonuses. It gives us attack damage, it gives us critical hit chance, and attack speed. Yeah, conserving your Vigor in combat is really useful, which also means Vigor regeneration in general is very useful. But I can't help myself from casting like a Quen or Yarden or an Axie. Those are by far my favorite signs. Igni and what was the last one? Ard? Not that much. Those are your main attacking signs. They don't impact the battle as much as the other ones, except for Igni against humans. I mean, Igni against humans is like, it's ridiculous. It's like an Axie and an Ard combined. Okay, let's move on here. Oil preparation, I've done everything for these. All we have is Emotion, which unfortunately I don't love, but hey, might as well. Being able to apply additional oils. It's just... yeah, I've rationalized with this in the past. I said something like, sometimes I want to just replace an oil with another one, but I fear that with Emotion I won't be able to replace them anymore. I'll just have to have both of them on the weapon, and both of them at only 55% potency. I'm not a big fan of that, but we'll see. Bomb creation, I was working on Riving Blasts or Steady Aim. I definitely don't need Steady Aim. Let's just put another point into Riving Blasts. This gives increased effectiveness of our attacks. And we have 1 point onto Trial of the Grasses. We were doing Endure Pain. Poise value increases up to 20 and reduces the maximum impact of toxicity on Vigor regeneration by 10%. Barely anything, but hey, it's better than nothing. And then finally, we have one general progression point. I only have 5 skills to go. The more I look at this enzymatic induction, the more I think it's not the most terrible thing in the world. Because in the last episode, I actually couldn't consume a potion because I consumed too many, and the next one would bring my toxicity up too high. This one allows me to consume way more, well, a little bit more than I am typically allowed to. But let's see what other ones we have. Food and drinks 50% longer. That's totally unnecessary. Balanced diet is eh. And light armor, I don't think we're ever going to get to use light armor in this playthrough, unfortunately. So yeah, we're just going to go with enzymatic induction. Allows us to drink more potions overall. That's always a good thing. Okay, and with that complete, we'll take a rest and we'll end things here. or just walk some circles around the bed. Alright, let's go to 4 a.m. 4 hours, good enough for Geralt. And we get all those bonuses. Look at that. I've noticed though, while I was off screen, this double bomb and potion yield thing, I don't think it's actually doing what I thought it was doing. Because what I'm noticing is that certain bombs and potions require twice the number of ingredients to craft. Well, not every single ingredient. Mainly just your alcohol and your bomb casings. You require twice as many, and you also require more bottles. But well, I mean, that makes sense, right? You need more bomb casings to make 2 bombs. You can't make 2 bombs with just 1 casing. You can't make 2 potions with only 1 bottle. But yeah, I think the other alchemy ingredients stayed the same. But the thing is, the alcohol that you're using for your potions, they're arguably the most... yeah, okay. Depending on what type of alcohol you use, it's arguably the most expensive part of it. But I guess, yeah, it's not like a pure double the yield. It's half the amount of ingredients used, which are surprisingly not the same thing. Okay, so anyways, that was a pretty exciting episode. The next time we come back, I'll probably explore Beauclair a bit more, get to doing some more side quests in there, and see what happens. And eventually we'll move on to the main quest again. And yeah, I'm really just excited to move on with the main story of the game. I think it's really interesting. But anyways, before I end things off here, let's just go ahead and read this book we just found, The History of Corvo Bianco. Corvo Bianco's origins have been lost to the mists of time. We have only a bare legend about the vineyard being founded by the owner of the Pomerol estate's son, who had been disinherited and exiled with only a Cavernier sapling to his name. The modern history of Corvo Bianco begins with Master Boleus, who settled in the vineyard in his elder years. As a young man, Boleus had headed a division of sappers which fought in the far north. For his service, he was made a noble and awarded a great deal of coin. He took to building Corvo Bianco with great zeal. He dedicated the most energy to planting a beautiful garden for his wife, thus starting the craze for the use of herbs which swept Toussaint at the time. After his wife, Boleus' second love was the olive tree, which is why he planted a great many of them all over Corvo Bianco. When Boleus' wife died, life lost its savor for him, and he began to think constantly about death. He sold his estate to Count Crespi, and the very day he signed the last piece of paperwork, he died. Damn. And then Crespi died because of Dettlaff, and now Geralt of Rivia is the proud owner of this estate. Awesome. Great. So yeah, we're going to end things here this time, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.